What they don't understand and realize, by paying off a car loan, even though you may only have 6 months left, and you're thinking, gosh, that's a $400 a month payment that could go towards me buying a house. Well, guess what? I don't have to count that debt against you, okay? If it has less than 10 months. You pay off a debt, then that could drop your credit score because you've had a good debt for 4 years that the credit bureaus rate and see that you pay your payment on time. As soon as you get rid of that, that can actually drop your credit score by 100 points.
The first ever Loan Officer Spotlight video, and I have the pleasure of having Debbie Cobb join me out here with a backdrop that you can't see on the camera. You can see that we're sitting in a decent room, but what you can't see is we're out in the middle of the ocean right now, and I'm joined by Debbie Cobb. Debbie, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being the first victim of the Loan Officer Spotlight. It's to spotlight you, talk about who you are as a human being, what makes you different, the things, why, what someone might say, you know what, I like that gal and I want to work with her. And so start there. I had mentioned your name, but where are you based out of?
Well, our office is in O'Fallon, Missouri. I also have an office in the St. Roberts area. So I'm licensed to do business in Missouri, Illinois, and Kentucky and Arkansas.
How long have you been doing this racket?
Well, let's see here. I've been in the industry for over 38 years. I've been with USA Mortgage doing loans for 16 years, and I've been a real estate broker for 38 years.
Wow. I would say you've got just a hair of experience.
Little bit.
So you've seen a lot, which is going to lead me to a bunch of questions, but I want to start personal with you. You know, the mortgage business, and everybody who watches me and has followed me through the years knows that I'm very clear that I know it's a very boring subject. So I like to get to know someone outside the arena of mortgage, which, you know, can be very stressful, can be very time consuming. And so what do you do in your free time?
Well, in my free time, Jeff, I spend time with my family. I'm a big family person. Family means the world to me. I have a 6-year-old granddaughter. I love sports. I have a niece who plays college ball in Connecticut, so we go up there and watch her play ball at times. I love football. I love basketball. I love fishing. I love flowers. That's where my time is spent.
Awesome.
My off time is always with family or playing around in flowers or watching sports.
How many kids do you have?
I have 2. I have Crystal and I have Kaylee.
Which Crystal's almost like it's a family affair in the mortgage business, of course.
That it is. I brought her into the business 6 or 7 years ago, taught her everything I know. She's young, she's vibrant, she's smart, she's energetic, she's beautiful, and by golly, she's the #1 loan officer in USA Mortgage and has been for about 4 years.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. And I met your other daughter last night as well. She's a successful entrepreneur herself.
She is. She's turning 30 years old, and she's getting married. She owns a medical spa, and very, very, very proud of her.
Yeah, what a smart business to be in, because that is a booming business
yes,
right
it
now.
is.
Very cool. So you didn't mention it when you in your hobbies, but I know we talked about it off air, which was you're an avid reader. So
Yes.
what would you say is your favorite book and why?
I have a book that I picked up and read. Megyn Kelly wrote a book called Settle for More. Megyn Kelly was a news commentator on Fox News. She's no longer there. But I read her biography, and how she got to where she's at was very inspirational for a lot of women. And I think a lot of women should read that book. It's called Settle for More. And my daughter Crystal read it, and she too could not put it down. And it just gives you that entrepreneurial spirit to never give up and go for your dreams.
I love it. I love it. That sounds inspirational.
Yeah.
I love it. So let's shift over into the business. And I think one of the biggest challenges that salespeople have in our industry, that's just real estate in general, is defining what makes them different, their value propositions, because I think we all tend to lean into our jobs, which isn't necessarily a differentiator. So with that said, what is your differentiator? Or differentiators?
Well, I'm a little bit different than what some loan officers you'll find. I too have that real estate background. So I've been in the industry for many, many years, and that comes in handy for not only the real estate agent, but also the client, because I know both sides of the spectrum. And I know how to help a borrower to get over challenges and fears in becoming a first-time home buyer, or even issues with building inspections. Sometimes, the house might have termites in it, and most people don't realize that there are X amount of colonies of termites in every single acre out there. It's just, does it get to your house or does it not? Oh my gosh, Debbie, my house has termites. I don't think I should buy this house.
Yep.
And I'm like, look, talk to your realtor. It's okay. You may not have termites today, you could have tomorrow. You just never know,
Sure.
but you'll get through it. It can be repaired. So I know both sides of the spectrum and how I can calm down a buyer and help them move forward.
I love it. Not to mention, I think 38 years kind of speaks to just, you've seen a lot.
Seen a lot.
Which leads me to the next question that always fascinates me when I get different answers, because they're all over the board, is what would you say is your most memorable client story, or one of your most memorable?
Yeah, well, we've got a lot, okay? Being in the business so long, I've helped so many young people buy houses who thought they could never ever buy a house. Single women, married people, people that had credit, people that 3 or 4 lenders have turned them down, and I've turned them into homeowners within a month to 3 months. But one of the ones that stand out to me was I had a gentleman who was older, never ever owned a home. And he was dying of cancer. And he wanted to buy a house for his family. And so he called me up, and he had been turned down by a couple of other people before me.
Really?
And I ended up getting him into a home. And it was so gratifying because he knew he was going to pass away and leave his family in a good place. So those kind of things really touched my heart.
Wow.
And he actually gave me a voicemail and thanked me so much, and I still have that voicemail on my phone. I actually listened to it this morning from 2017.
Jeez, I imagine that one brings a few tears to the
it
eye,
does.
I imagine.
It does. So those are the kind of things. I have a passion for what I do. I love what I do, and I love helping people, and those kind of things touch my heart, and that's what makes this all worthwhile.
Amen. So that might have helped lead into the next question, which is, I know this about you because I've known you for a number of years, that a lot of your business comes from real estate agent referrals, and that's how a lot of your business is driven. So if a real estate agent was catching this and was thinking to themselves, well, Debbie, why should I choose you? I've got hundreds of options.
Well, I know what's important to you because I've been in your shoes. I know that at the end of the day, you want somebody that your client can trust and somebody who's going to take very good care of your client and give them that comfort zone that they picked a good team and a partner to work with. And at the end of the day, we're all going towards the same goal, and that's trying to get a loan closed and get somebody into their home. And I am that person that will not take no for an answer. I will figure out a way to fit you in that box. There are very few people that call me, Jeff, that one way or another we do not get them, we get them in a home, one way or another. It might not be today, but it might be 30 days from now.
Sure. Yeah, that's exactly that's music to every real estate agent's ears, basically.
Yeah. They call me Mama Cobb.
Oh yeah,
Mama Cobb,
so
can you help me out?
You have a nickname.
I do, and it's Mama Cobb.
Well deserved. I love it. So on that same note, as the world evolves, you've got this interesting shift about potentially ready to happen, where you've got baby boomers going to arguably be leaving their homes, an entire new generation of humans, Gen Z, young millennials coming in. What would be advice, because obviously the media draws up all sorts of nonsense, what would be your advice for a client wanting to buy their first home?
Jeff, a lot of times people decide, okay, we're going to buy a house, and I've got this credit card, I've got this car loan, I've had this car loan for 4 years, I've got 6 months left on it or so. So what they might want to do is they're thinking in their head, I need to pay that off. I need to pay that car loan off, okay? Or I need to pay off this derogatory debt on my credit report. What they don't understand and realize, by paying off a car loan, even though you may only have 6 months left, and you're thinking, gosh, that's a $400 a month payment that could go towards me buying a house. Well, guess what? I don't have to count that debt against you, okay? If it has less than 10 months. You pay off a debt, then that could drop your credit score because you've had a good debt for 4 years that the credit bureaus rate and see that you pay your payment on time. As soon as you get rid of that, that can actually drop your credit score by 100 points. Don't ever do that. Pick up the phone and call somebody that knows what they're doing and can help guide you. If we need you to pay off a credit card or a debt or installment loan or something to qualify debt to income ratio wise on a house, we can have you pay that off at the table. You don't have to pay it off in advance. So that way we help protect your credit score. Always talk to somebody. And guys, parents don't always know those answers.
Yeah, facts.
Talk to a professional.
Yeah, absolutely. And and I would say too, and you mentioned this, is if you get advice that you might think, this doesn't seem. I listened to this Debbie Cobb gal talking on social media one time. They should get a second opinion and call you because it may not be what somebody advised you.
Absolutely.
Yep, I love it. I love it. Lastly, you mentioned that something that's very important to you is, something that drives you, which is a motto. What is your motto?
Remember who you are. Remember where you came from. We all go to the bathroom the same way, right? Our poop all smells the same, right, Jeff? Okay, so
love that one.
Remember who you are. You're not better than anybody else out there. These people, these kids that have bad credit scores, they deserve a home just as much as those with the 800 credit scores.
Yeah.
We will help get you to where you need to be in order to buy a home. Be humble. I tell my girls, remember where you came from. I came from a poor family, had nothing. Remember how you got to where you were. It wasn't by stepping on people. It was by being humble and genuine and helping others.
That is fantastic, Debbie. This has been you made my job easy on this first interview, and now the next victims have a lot to live up to. So thank you for doing this.